this video, I'm excited to introduce you to foundation training. Foundation training is a unique set of exercises designed by my partner here, Dr. Eric Goodman, that I discovered late last year. He came into the gym and started training me, and I found he had these unique exercises I'd never seen before. They're yoga type, they're Pilates type, but yet there's their own twist, and they're completely different. It was the first new thing in the training I've seen in a long time. So I got very excited behind it and started bringing in Lance and a lot of other professional cyclists, and it's gotten a huge following, especially in this area. So what I'm going to do is hand it over to Eric, and he's going to show us some of these exercises and how they will help you get more mobile, flexible, and especially they'll help you ride more comfortably.
What we've seen in the cycling community with these exercises is by strengthening the posterior chain of the body, the back, the butt, the hamstrings, you really create a completely different movement on the bike. You're able to hold yourself in a much more powerful position, in turn getting a lot more power from your hips, from the glutes, and also creating so much less pain in the back and in the hips while you're riding. We've gotten some pretty phenomenal results with this in the cycling community, so we're happy to show you what we're doing with it. We're going to start with an exercise called a founder. So in a founder, you're going to stand with your feet about hip width apart. You're going to push your hips back and bend your knees slightly, pushing all the weight back over your heels. So go ahead and get into that position, Chris. Your chest is going to be up, the shoulders are open, the chest is open. You're going to have a lot of isolated pressure at the lower spine here. Lift your chest a little further. In this position, you're going to start pressing the hips back a bit further, pressing the chest forward. As you do that, you're going to feel a stretch build into the upper hamstrings. As soon as you get that stretch, you're going to slowly bring those arms all the way up in front. Lift up a little higher, keep coming up. As you do that, you're going to get a lot of tension right into the lower spine. You're going to hold this for about 10 seconds. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to start folding forward. As you do that, press the hips back a little bit further. Stretch all the way down, keeping the knees bent the whole time. From this position, you're going to bend your knees a little bit further. Press your hands into your shins. Tighten up your back right at the low back here. Pull the shoulders up and start sliding those arms up to the top of your knees. Chest up a little higher, head up a little higher, push those arms straight back. You're going right back to that first position. From here, slowly bring those arms all the way up in front. You're going to hold at the top here 10 seconds. Perfect. Stand up from there. The next one we're going to do is a lunge stretch. You're going to bring your right leg all the way forward, left leg back with a slight bend in the right knee. Good. Lift both arms straight up over your head. Pull back into extension. As you pull back into extension, you're going to start side bending over the right leg. Press your chest back a little bit further and just lift the arms as high as you can. Hold that position about 10 seconds.
Eric, we mainly work in the hip flexor, stretching the hip flexor on this.
Right now we're stretching the hip flexor on this left side. You're going to feel a stretch all the way from the bottom of the rib cage here, all the way down into the hips. Come back to the center. Bring your arms across your chest. You're going to press your chest straight forward. Press this right hip back just a little bit and then arch your back again. We're now going into a tension pose that's actually going to teach you to use your hamstring and your butt muscle to generate power. Press your chest down low. You're going to feel a stretch build right under the hamstring of that right leg. Tense up that same muscle, tense up that hamstring and pull your chest back. Press right back down and pull back. We're going to do 10 of these. The knee is not going to come forward at all here. You're generating force from that hip and hamstring.
So he's working that upper hamstring, right?
Yes, we're stretching the upper hamstring. After that, you're going to stand up and switch legs. Left leg forward, right leg back. Pull back into extension. Again, we're now stretching the hip flexor on this right side. Pull a little further back into extension. You're going to feel that stretch again from the rib cage all the way into the hip flexor here. Keep pulling back. Hold this about 10 seconds. Come back to the center. Arms across your chest, square that left hip up. So we're now transferring that energy from the quads all the way back here into the butt and hip. Press your chest forward, build that stretch, use that same muscle, contract back, press forward. You're going to be feeling a contraction right here under the glute muscle there.
So it's really important to have your leg a little bit bent, right?
Yes, you want to have a slight bend in the knees. You want that weight on the heel of the front foot. After 10 of these, you're going to stand up, bring your legs wide. Wide as you can go, knees are bent. You're going to go right back to that first position. Good, chest up, start pressing that chest forward, press the hips back, build that stretch into the upper legs there. Slowly bring those arms all the way up in front of you. Start pressing your chest a little bit lower, keep that weight all the way back on your heels. You're going to start feeling a big stretch, first in the hamstrings and then on the inner leg and the adductors there. Take a deep breath in, On the exhale, you're gonna bring your left arm all the way down to the ground and the right arm all the way up in the air in a rotation.
So a lot of these can actually help your shoulder mobility too, huh?
This helps shoulder mobility, it helps spinal mobility, and it really creates a very powerful brace along the spine. You're gonna hold this stretch for about 10 seconds. You're gonna feel that really go into the upper left leg while you're stretching this. Bring both arms down. Slowly bring that left arm up. Press that weight back a little bit further over the heels. And again, you're gonna feel some tightness here in the legs. You're gonna feel a lot of bracing in the spine, and those shoulders are gonna be pretty tight all along the entire upper back there. Take a deep breath in. Come all the way down. Bend the knees a little bit further, pull the shoulders back, push the arms straight back. So you're gonna get a lot of tension in the lower spine here. Slowly bring those arms all the way up. Build the tension in the spine, come up a little higher. Hold right here, 10 seconds. And then pressing through the heels, stand all the way up. And that's it for those.
Great. How often can you do these?
You can do these every day. This is an exercise that you really don't have to recover from very much. It actually aids recovery quite well. You want to do this probably 3 times through that series that we just did in a given time. And then after that, I mean, you can really do it every day. It can be something you do before a ride, after a ride. Every cyclist we work with does this on a daily basis.
Yeah, we really have seen some huge results from this.
Yeah, it's extraordinary what happens when you start doing this, the volume you're able to handle cycling in such a more comfortable fashion.
And another thing I've noticed is once people get these movements down, the stuff in the gym seems much easier. They know how to do all this, they know how to squat, it just makes everything much easier, which is nice, especially for the trainers. Yep. So that's why we call it foundation, because it's the foundation of all movement of what you do.